Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive right in. Today we're embarking on a truly epic journey, a cinematic exploration into what I think is one of the most profound and intellectually rigorous philosophical traditions in human history, Vedanta. We're going to demystify the stages of spiritual ascent, so you can think of this not just as an overview of some ancient texts, but really as a roadmap of human consciousness evolving to figure out its ultimate place in the cosmos. Get ready, because this is going to be absolutely fascinating.
So, who are you really? I mean, it's the ultimate mystery, isn't it? We spend so much of our lives totally identified with our physical bodies, our jobs, our daily routines. But I want to ask you to look past the physical world for just a second. What is the actual nature of your own consciousness? Like, who is the experiencer right there behind your eyes? This single, profound question, it's literally the engine that drives all of Vedic philosophy.
Take a look at this ancient Sanskrit phrase here, Tat Tvam Asi. Translated, that means that thou art. This is one of the great Mahavakyas, or grand pronouncements of the Upanishads. And believe it or not, this single ancient phrase forms the absolute philosophical battleground for three distinct progressive stages of spiritual awakening. Exactly how you interpret that thou art completely shifts your entire understanding of reality. And we're going to explore exactly how that happens. To really wrap our heads around this, let's turn to some incredibly vivid imagery from the ancient Mundaka Upanishad. It brilliantly illustrates this concept of the Antaryamin, or the inner controller. The text basically describes this place in the heart where all the nerves meet up. It's exactly like the spokes of a chariot wheel coming together in the central hub. It's telling us that at the absolute center of our being, the hub of our existence, if you will, there is a divine presence moving and becoming manifold. But how do we actually relate to this hub? Well, as you'll see, that depends entirely on where we are on our journey.
Section 1. Dvaita, the dualistic path. Let's start our journey right here at stage 1, which is really the foundational starting point for any seeker anchored in the daily experience of the phenomenal world.
So, Dvaita is the philosophy of absolute dualism. Championed by the philosopher Madhva, this stage asserts a clear, totally undeniable distinction between us, meaning the dependent finite souls, and the supreme God. There is zero confusion here, right? God is the master and we are the servants. What's so beautiful about this stage is that it fosters this deep, profound humility and intense devotion, which is known as Bhakti. It really forces us to just acknowledge the absolute majesty and independent sovereignty of the divine.
The absolutely crucial point in Dvaita is perfectly captured by Madhva's brilliant analogy of the vessels. I want you to imagine three containers: a small cup, a large well, and a vast ocean. If you fill them all up with water to the very brim, they're all completely full, right? They're experiencing absolute fullness. But obviously, the capacity they hold is vastly different. Madhva explains that individual souls are exactly like this. Even in a state of ultimate liberation, different souls experience perfect joy and fullness according to their own unique, finite capacities, while God always remains the infinite source. Moving on to Section 2, Vishishtadvaita, the universal body. Let's see what happens to our understanding as our spiritual perception deepens in this second stage of our ascent. Now, Vishishtadvaita roughly translates to qualified non-dualism, and here, those rigid boundaries of separation we just talked about, they start to soften. The philosopher Ramanuja argued that God actually pervades the universe in the exact same way that a soul pervades a physical body. So the material world and our individual souls aren't illusions at all, they're absolutely real. But they're inseparable attributes of the divine. We don't exist as these isolated, disconnected fragments. Instead, it's more like we're intimately connected cells functioning within the vast cosmic body of the Supreme. To really lock this concept in, we've got to understand its organic unity through three fundamental ontological principles. First up is Advaita, or supportedness. This means our very existence is entirely dependent upon and supported by the Supreme Soul. Second is Niyamatva, or controlledness. Essentially, as the body, we are subject to the sovereign control of the inner soul. And third, Sashatva, or subservience. The body exists solely for the purpose and glory of the soul. Understanding this is a real game changer, because it elevates every single one of our daily actions from just mundane chores into a level of divine service, or kaimkarya. And look, Ramanuja didn't just invent this out of thin air. He grounded it deeply in ancient texts like the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad.
This text describes how the vital force extends into the very water and light of the universe. In fact, it explicitly states water is the body of this vital force. The universe is quite literally the physical extension, the divine body of the ultimate reality. It's just a totally mind-bending way to look at the world around you. Which brings us to section 3, Advaita, the non-dual reality. We are now entering the absolute culmination of spiritual inquiry, where all limiting adjuncts, what Vedanta calls upadis, are entirely transcended.
Championed by the philosopher Shankara, Advaita is this just staggering realization that the individual's soul and Brahman, meaning the ultimate reality, are metaphysically identical. Any perceived division, it's completely an illusion, or maya. Shankara realized that the inner controller we talked about earlier, the outer universe, and your very own experiencing self are, and honestly have always been, a singular, undifferentiated light of consciousness. This is the ultimate realization of Tat Twam Asi. You are that ultimate reality with absolutely no separation whatsoever.
But here's the thing. Even within this non-dual realization of Advaita, philosophers still heavily debated exactly how this one reality actually appears as many. You basically have two really nuanced theories here. On the one hand, Pratibimbavada argues that the individual soul is a pure reflection of the divine, fundamentally non-different from the original. On the other hand, Apasavada suggests that the reflection is more of an illusion, distorted by the medium of the mind. It's such a fascinating debate, right? Are we a perfect mirror image of God, or just an illusory shadow cast upon our own ignorance?
To make Pratibimbavada crystal clear, consider this stunning visual metaphor straight from the texts. The same sun reflected in many vessels of water appears as many suns. I mean, think about that for a second. There's only one actual sun in the sky, obviously. But if you put out 1,000 bowls of water in your backyard, you're gonna see 1,000 little suns. The ultimate truth is one, but it manifests as countless individual souls without ever losing its absolute unity. You are literally that one sun, reflecting in the vessel of your current life.
One truth, many paths. Let's synthesize all these concepts into a dynamic roadmap for your own enlightenment, because I want to show you that these aren't just dry intellectual debates for ancient scholars.
This unbroken flow really proves how a seeker actively evolves over time. Think of it like this. You might start at Dvaita, acting as a humble servant and just acknowledging the sheer majesty of the universe. Then, as your heart expands, you might shift into Vishishtadvaita, realizing, hey, I'm an inseparable, vital cell operating within God's vast cosmic body. And finally, through deep inquiry, you might break through to Advaita, the self-luminous realization of absolute oneness. This is where the servant, the body, and the universe all dissolve into singular consciousness. It really is a stunning evolution of the human spirit.
Before we end, we'd love to hear from you. What do you believe? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, the greatest journey isn't outward, it's within. If you're passionate about spirituality, self-discovery, and timeless wisdom, subscribe to Infinite Within and begin exploring the infinite power already inside you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.